Hello, my name is Alyssa Gertman and I'm doing my 1-2 Gracey Evaluation. So you want to first make sure that you are sitting in a nice ergonomic position, as well as have your loops on to better see the teeth in front of you. I will not have my loop light on. And let's get started. So I am in a 12 o'clock position. I'm going to start on the mandibulars. With the 1-2, you always want to make sure you have the blade on the correct side and that you are working towards and away. So we only use this instrument on the anteriors. So I'm going to go canine to canine here. And first I'm going to do away on the maxillary anteriors. We want to overlap in the center, so we want to make sure that when we get both sides, so right there, yep, and then just keep rolling and rolling. Make sure to try and keep your instrument as parallel to the tooth as possible. And make sure to really just rock back and forth on your fulcrum. And try not to hold too much tension in your hand, your dominant hand. All right, so I did the away, so now I'm going to do towards. And with this on the maxillary, you do have the option of doing it in 8. I personally prefer doing it in 12, which is the other option. So I'm going to do that. Actually, 11. I don't know why I keep wanting to say 12 for all of these, but it's 11. I need to be an 11, which I am. I just keep saying 12. If I say 12, it means 11, right? Right. You want to make sure that you are using the correct end of the Gracey, which I still sometimes have trouble with, but we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, and same thing. You want to insert it in the middle. Get on that cutting edge and rock your fulcrum back and forth. I know that one can't really be seen by the camera, so let's show more on this lateral. You want to roll, roll, roll. If you don't roll, you're going to cut your patient's gingiva. We really don't want to do that. Go in and bring it around the tooth surface. And I would normally be using my other hand to hold the patient's upper lip out of the way, but since I have this lovely typodont, I am using it to steady the maxillary. But normally I'd have my mirror in my other hand and would be using my fingers to retract that upper lip, which is currently non-existent because I pulled the cheeks and lips away. All right, now I'm going to show just the maxillary away. Since the maxillary towards, I have to be in a different position. So we want to make sure we're on the correct end of our instrument here. Go in the center. You really want to make sure that you're able to overlap in the center, because you want to make sure that this area under the gingiva is nice and clear. Turn my typodont for me to see. as the camera does make it a little difficult. Trying to stay parallel. Some of them are a little hard to do, but we're getting there. Insert that better. And this guy. All right, and now I am going back to the maxillary arch, and I'm going to do the towards and away with the 1-2 Gracey on the lingual surfaces now. So this is going to be a little more difficult trying to get her on my camera, so please bear with me. And I'm using my mirror, and I do realize that my thumb is here pressed against the teeth, and that's not actually correct, but I'm using that to steady my typodont. I just wanted to make aware that I knew that I shouldn't be doing that. You want to stand up on your fulcrum and really just rock back and forth. I think one of my biggest issues is that I let my fulcrum get lazy. And so then I end up not having my instrument at a correct angulation because my fulcrum's wrong. Let me turn my typodont just a tad so you can better see in my mirror what is happening. And so I can see in my mirror what's happening. Alright, and hitting that canine. Right now. And there's my lazy fulcrum again. Which when I stand up on it for these videos, it makes it a little difficult, but gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, and I flipped my instrument around, so now I am doing towards. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start on this lovely little canine here. Trying to look between my phone screen and the teeth at the same time, I will say, is a difficult task. Really make sure to roll. Let me move my typodont. So if you don't roll, you're gonna hurt someone. Center and roll, roll, roll. Center, roll, roll, roll. After a lovely typodont malfunction, I am back. My instruments have now scratched up my desk, but that's okay. For the love of dental hygiene, right? Alrighty, so I am back on the mandibulars. I know I did this a little out of order, and I don't exactly know why I did, but here we are. So I already did the away on the anteriors, I believe, on the facials of the anteriors. So now I am going to do the away on the linguals. of the anteriors. And I am trying to get it to work with me as best as I can. But same concept, really want to make sure you get under that gingiva. Work with those nice vertical strokes. Be sure to get any calculus, biofilm, plaque, anything that you can get out of these sulcus. Because if you don't, it's just going to be stuck there. And then your patient's going to be sad. Keep parallel. Alrighty. So, we did our way. Now to the dreaded towards. Why do I say dreaded? Because it's in a very awkward 8 o'clock position. For the facials, it's not too bad. Now, for the linguals, anyway. So, just like we have been, we're going to start on this canine. Ooh, the brightness just went crazy. Get that nice overlapping stroke. Stand up on your fulcrum, Alyssa. To whoever listening to these videos, I do apologize. I feel the need to fill the air with space because it's awkward just chilling here, fiddling away on the Typodon. Ooh, got a little something out of there. Make sure that your fulcrum's proper and fingers are in a nice position, or you do exactly what I just did. All right, and now to do these linguals. Again, you're still going to be in this 8 o'clock position. You really have to use your mirror here. So I wouldn't actually do this to a real patient, but today Mr. Typodon's going to have his tongue moved off to the side manually. Make sure you're on the correct side of your instrument. And we're just going to do towards here. My biggest issue lingually is really trying to get that overlapping to happen in the center, the midline of the tooth. For when you do, your towards and away, because you really want to get that area. Hear that cutting edge. And there we go. The 1-2 Gracey on the maxillary and mandibular anteriors, facially and lingual.